On the night of July 9, 1958, in the remote wilderness of Alaska, a quiet bay became the site of one of the most terrifying natural disasters in Earth's history. Within minutes, Lituya Bay unleashed a force so violent it shocked the entire world. What happened there was not just a tsunami. It was the largest megatsunami ever recorded. Lituya Bay is a narrow fjord located in southeastern Alaska, surrounded by glaciers and steep cliffs. For thousands of years, this bay has stretched inland like a deep wound carved by moving ice. The mountains around it rise to nearly 1,000 meters, and these natural walls surround the bay like a gigantic trap. Because of its geological structure, Lituya Bay had long been the focus of geologists, as the region lies within an active tectonic zone prone to earthquakes. Tension constantly builds beneath the Earth's crust here and is periodically released in the form of powerful seismic events. In the summer of 1958, the bay appeared calm on the surface. The waters were still and the sky was clear. For fishermen, it was no different from an ordinary summer evening. No one could imagine that within minutes an event would occur that would enter history. At 10:15 p.m. local time, the ground suddenly shook violently. The earthquake, measuring approximately 7.8 in magnitude, shook the entire region within seconds. The mountains trembled with a roar, glaciers cracked, and the land itself seemed to move like a living being. The most destructive impact of the earthquake was felt in the northeastern part of Lituya Bay. A massive body of rock and glacial ice broke loose and plunged from hundreds of meters above into the deep waters of the bay. According to estimates, 30 to 40 million cubic meters of rock, soil, and ice fell into the water within seconds. A landslide of this scale is considered an extremely rare event in human history. When the debris struck the water, the impact was so powerful that the entire body of water inside the bay surged upward like an explosion. What happened next was beyond belief. A gigantic wave rose from the water. This wave was far larger than any ordinary tsunami. Later measurements showed that it reached an astonishing height of about 1,720 feet. This meant a wall of water taller than many skyscrapers. The wave raced along the mountainside at lightning speed, destroying everything in its path. Ancient trees were torn out by their roots, layers of soil were stripped away, and rocks were shattered. Even at elevations above 1,640 feet, the mountainside was completely cleared of vegetation. These marks etched a terrifying line across the landscape, showing the maximum height reached by the wave. Photographs taken after the disaster made these bare strips look as if the face of the mountain had been shaved clean by a gigantic blade. At the time of the event, 3 fishing boats were inside the bay. The people on board felt the first tremors of the earthquake and became uneasy, but they did not expect such a massive disaster. According to later witness accounts, the collapsing mass appeared in the darkness like a giant moving shadow. After the rocks hit the water, the wave that rose before them resembled a mountain in motion. One of the boats was immediately swallowed by the wave, and the 2 people aboard lost their lives. The other 2 boats survived through an incredible stroke of luck, lifted upward by the wave and carried along with it. Survivors described the moment as feeling like the end of the world. According to them, the boat rose hundreds of meters within seconds, and then plunged downward at terrifying speed. In those moments, the roar of water, darkness, and chaos consumed everything. As the wave surged through the bay, it caused complete devastation along the shoreline. When the water receded, the landscape was unrecognizable. Areas once covered with dense forest had turned into bare rock. Tree trunks were dragged for kilometers, and many were shattered and scattered along the shore. The scene resembled the aftermath of a massive explosion. Shortly after the event, scientists who arrived in the region were astonished by what they saw. By measuring the vegetation-free scars on the mountainside, they determined the true height of the wave. The confirmed measurement of about 1,720 feet created a sensation in the scientific community. It was the largest tsunami ever recorded and forced many existing theories to be reconsidered. Scientists realized that this event was fundamentally different from classic oceanic tsunamis. The Lituya Bay megatsunami was caused by the sudden release of energy from a massive landslide within a confined bay. The narrow and deep fjord structure prevented the energy from dispersing, concentrating it at a single point and creating a devastating wave. Further research revealed that Lituya Bay had experienced similar but smaller events throughout history. Ancient marks discovered on the mountainsides proved that the bay had served as a natural laboratory for extreme geological processes for thousands of years. The 1958 event was simply the most extreme example of these processes. One of the most frightening aspects of the disaster was how quickly it unfolded. The entire event lasted only a few minutes. People had almost no time to react before facing the fury of nature. This disaster dramatically demonstrated how sudden and unpredictable natural catastrophes can be. It also clearly showed how small and vulnerable humans are in the face of nature. Despite modern technology, the processes occurring deep within our planet are still beyond our full control. Today, Lituya Bay still appears calm and breathtakingly beautiful. Its surface is covered with peaceful waters and surrounded by magnificent mountain scenery. Yet beneath this beauty lies a frightening history. The bay remains within an active tectonic zone, and scientists continue to monitor the area carefully. Even today, the marks of 1958 are clearly visible on the mountainsides. The barren strips and altered terrain stand as silent witnesses to that night. The memories of the surviving fishermen represent the most human side of this tragedy. Their stories of fear, confusion, and miraculous survival transform the event from a simple scientific fact into a profound human drama. Ultimately, the megatsunami that struck Lituya Bay in 1958 was not just a record-breaking wave, but a symbol of nature's immeasurable power. The events of that night reminded humanity that we are guests on this planet and subject to its rules. Even today, the story of Lituya Bay carries the same message. Respect nature because its power is far greater than we imagine.